Should the NFL be afraid of our president?
Yes, they should. Yes, they should. And it's exactly what I alluded to yesterday talking to Will and Max Kellerman. And one of the things that's dicey about this discussion at times is that, obviously it's a highly sensitive issue and, we all have our opinions or whatever, but we're not necessarily disagreeing in what should be done. We just need to talk about what's actually happening and what the reality is as it pertains to the impact. The president, whether you like it or not, whether you like him or not, is the president of the United States of America. Over 62 million people voted for this man. And when you have the power that he has and you have the influence that he has, you have the ability to hijack an issue like the Colin Kaepernick protest and turn it into something that it was not about, turn it into an issue of patriotism. He successfully hijacked the issue. And he targeted the NFL, a group of owners, a cadre of individuals, a league that would not let him into their good old boys club, per se. I spoke to him in 2014, as I've said on numerous occasions. And the man at that time said to me, you know what, I want to own the Buffalo Bills. I want to buy this team. If they don't let me in, hell, I might run for president. I'll get their behinds back then. And years later, what happened? He targeted the NFL owners. We've had owners who are friends of his who absolutely positively believe he targeted them simply because he has the ability to influence a constituency and let them know how he feels. And as a result, I'm not saying they don't have their own feelings, that their feelings are dictated per se by him, but they certainly feel comfortable and the license that they have to express what they feel, regardless of how it's absorbed by a vast majority of Americans out there. And as a result, they made the NFL pay in some way. So when you take this situation into account and you look at what's transpiring, they had better hope that the president of the United States doesn't turn around and start complaining about those players again when they're not coming out for the national anthem, when instead they're waiting inside the locker room until the national anthem is being played, and then they come running out onto the field. Because the second he makes that a focal point of his argument, so will his constituency and millions of others, I might add. And as a result, this new ruling by the National Football League, which appears bogus on its face, will ultimately reap the consequences of its actions. Because bottom line is that you engaged in paid patriotism from dating back to 2008, 2009. That's why you had to institute this rule, because you didn't have the rule in place in the first place. In college, like Notre Dame and other universities, you've got teams that literally wait until the national anthem is played before they come out onto the field. If you had had that in place before, you wouldn't have this problem. But because you didn't have the foresight and because you were compromised, because you engaged in paid patriotism, as Senator John McCain pointed out years ago, you now find yourself in this precarious situation trying to wiggle your way out of it. And the president of the United States himself may be the one who dictates whether or not it actually works.